In our last video about things you didn't know about everyday objects, you learned about that small pocket in your jeans and why there's a hole in that pasta spoon. Well, it turns out there are even more objects we didn't fully understand, but use or see every day. Pen lids. We all use them, and some of us even can't help chewing on them, especially the caps. But did you know there's a feature found in pen lids that isn't what we all thought? No, it wasn't included to make for a better spitball cannon. In fact, the hole in the cap is added as a safety measure to prevent total asphyxiation if the cap gets swallowed and stuck in your throat. Today, around 100 people choke to death on pen lids in the US every year. Before the hole in the cap, that number used to be a lot higher. Traffic lights. If you drive anywhere, it's likely you've been stuck at one or hit the gas to get through one before it changed from yellow to red. But why are they red, yellow, and green? Well, the lights were originally used by railways where red meant danger, green meant caution, and white meant go. Unfortunately, if the colored lenses ever fell out, then a conductor would only see white, meaning it was okay to go, even if it really wasn't. After some big accidents, it was decided that green meant go and yellow was for caution, something common at every intersection today. Tic Tac lids. They're small, flavored, rattle around in your pocket or purse, and help cover up that garlic from your lunch. But have you ever looked at a Tic Tac container closely? If you look at the lid, you'll notice a little oval in the flap that opens. What is that? If you turn the box the right way before opening the lid, that feature actually dispenses one single Tic Tac. It's definitely a strange feature and one we bet almost everyone ignores. Power cord bulge. A lot of the stuff we use requires electricity to work properly. In almost every instance, that requires us to get down and plug in the power cord to the wall outlet. But what is that plastic bulge that so many power cords seem to have in them? Most people probably have never thought about it. In fact, the bulge is called a ferrite bead or choke. Its purpose is to help cut out electromagnetic interference from other electronic devices, which can do stuff like make your monitor flicker or speakers buzz. Keyboard bumps. Keyboards come in all sorts of colors and can have more buttons than you know what to do with. Yet look closely and you'll notice that every keyboard has one, or actually two, little features you may not have noticed. Look at the F and J key and you'll see little bumps on each. What are they actually there for? A manufacturing defect? An aid for the blind? Not quite. These little features are actually meant to help users correctly position their hands without having to look at the keyboard. Padlocks. They come in a variety of sizes and colors, but they all have the same purpose: to keep stuff locked up securely. At first glance, there is nothing really strange about the everyday padlock, but look a bit closer and you'll notice that along with the spot for the key, there is also a small hole. Is that some sort of quick release feature? Nope. The small hole is actually added to help dirt and water drain from the lock. After all, without it, the inner workings of the lock would eventually seize, and only a good pair of bolt cutters would save the day. Toothpaste tubes. There are so many varieties of toothpaste that it's hard to keep track of it all. However, no matter what flavor you're into, every tube always has some sort of colored bar at the pinched end. For years, people thought maybe it had something to do with the ingredients inside the tube. Not really. In fact, the colored mark on the base of the tube is simply there for manufacturing purposes. At the factory, that mark simply tells an optical scanner where the end of the tube is so it can be sealed before moving on to the next one. Wine bottles. Wine and champagne bottles come in all sorts of sizes and prices, but why is the bottom indented? Well, that indent is actually called a punt and was added by glassblowers to add structural strength to the bottle and ensure it was able to stand upright with no uneven bottom. Today, since bottles are generally machine-made and of higher quality, the punt serves little purpose except for sparkling wines and champagnes. In these cases, it actually helps even the distribution of the pressure found inside of the bottle. Stop signs. They're red, multi-sided, reflective, and have one simple message: stop! Beyond that, the vast majority of us probably never think that much about the design that goes into stop signs. Why do they have 8 sides? Well, it turns out that many decades ago, it was decided that the more hazardous the message, the more sides a sign would get. For instance, railways were seen as the most dangerous at the time, so they got a circle, which has infinite sides. Runner-up went to the intersection, who was handed the 8-sided stop sign we've all come to know so well today. Men's and women's buttons. Buttons seem pretty simple. After all, they hold the waist of our pants together and keep our shirts closed at the front. But have you ever wondered why women's and men's buttons tend to be on the opposite sides? The answer is pretty straightforward. The practice started long ago when it was more common for women to have someone help dress them. Since most people weren't right-handed, it made sense to have women's buttons on the left so a right-handed servant could use them. Men, on the other hand, were expected to dress themselves, so the buttons were on the opposite side. Well, folks, what did you think of these tasty little tidbits of knowledge? Let us know in the comments down below, because we're here and we value your opinion. Why don't you take a look at these other 2 videos, and remember, subscribe to The Richest so we can keep bringing you more interesting and weird facts every day. Thanks!